Hi everyone, my name is Michael Ahmad, and today I'm going to be taking over Herbivore Botanicals Instagram story to offer some tips and some tricks to help you cultivate your natural and clean makeup routine. A little backstory on me: I'm a skincare educator, I'm a makeup enthusiast, and I also run a personal blog called The Bearded Beauty Bible, which instead of treating beauty like a singular concept or destination, it's a part of an ongoing dialogue between your health and your wellness. Before we start, I did want to offer a quick sneak peek of every product that I will be using to achieve this look. So without further lead-in, let's just go ahead and jump in. Now, I've already cleansed and toned my skin to start, and I've also thoroughly washed my hands. You guys, this is fundamental. You have to wash your hands before you touch your face. It is imperative, otherwise you're just spreading bacteria around. My first nugget of advice is to skip the primer. Primers are made of silicones that give the illusion of plump and healthy skin, but they actually don't do anything for you. So why not redirect your money towards cultivating the actual perfect canvas rather than cultivating the illusion? Instead of the primer, mix your face oil and your serum together in the morning, because what happens is the water content of the serum will attach to the oil and pull it deeper into the skin, and the oil will prevent the serum from evaporating out of your skin over the course of the day. The oil I'm using today to create that is the lapis oil, of course, and it's in this adorable little travel size. But what I love about this is it has azulene, which is anti-inflammatory and antiseptic. So it really helps to take down my redness, it fights my acne throughout the day, and it helps balance my skin. Now, the serum that you use with your oil will always depend on what your objectives are. Are you looking to hydrate? Are you looking to brighten? Are you looking to fight acne? Whatever your objective is, you can mix it together with your oil and create a bit of a slurry and just kind of gently press it into your skin. Now, the serum that I'm using is actually super top secret, but I will tell you I'm so excited about this. You guys, keep your eyes and ears open because this is legitimately game-changing. I wish I could tell you more, but I just can't. I can't. So now I'm going to take my serum and my oil and I'm going to cocktail them together in the palm of my hand. So I like to use equal parts. I'm going to do 4 drops of the lapis. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 parts of the serum. 1, 2. So now that I have all this goodness in my hand, I'm actually just going to mix it together and press it directly into my skin. And one of the things you'll notice when you invest in this process is the product goes straight into your skin. It doesn't linger, it doesn't hover, it just goes right in, which is heaven. So now I'm going to kick things up a notch by incorporating my Pink Cloud Rosewater Moisture Cream. Now this has rosewater, aloe, kukui nut oil, but the most exciting thing about it is it's formulated with no silicone and plastic, so it incorporates directly into your skin and plumps you so good. Yes, yes. You ever like something so much you have to find different ways to say yes? You're like, yes, 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 yes. Now I'm gonna prep my under eye area, and to do that, I'm gonna use the Phoenix oil, also in the adorable travel size. Now, I'm gonna use this because it's super nutrient dense. It helps to plump because it has an all-star set of ingredients. You've got rosehip oil, CoQ10, chia seed oil, sea buckthorn. When used under makeup, the Phoenix oil gives you the most flawless airbrushed finish. But specifically in the context of your under eye, it really helps to ensure that any pigment or concealer doesn't settle into your fine lines. So to use it, I'm actually gonna take it out. I'm gonna take 1 or 2 drops, depending on how dry your under eyes may be, and I'm going to put it right onto my ring finger, the least dominant finger you have. I'm going to gently tap it together, and then I'm going to press it gently into my under eyes. Now for extra credit, I'm gonna be using my Rose Quartz facial roller, which I've had chilling in the fridge. You guys, it feels so nice. But this is the most remarkable way to depuff your eyes in the morning. Now I'm just gonna use it to gently work in the facial oil that I placed on my under eyes. Now the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna condition our eyebrows and our lips using the orchid oil. Now I know you might be thinking, gosh, we're spending so much time on prep, but that is key. You guys, you have to understand there's no amount of makeup that will overcome your skin being neglected. So for the conditioning objective, I'm going to be using the orchid oil. Now, not only is this a phenomenal hydrating oil, it smells divine. It has camellia seed oil, jasmine sambac, cymbidium grandiflora, and it has almost a dry oil feeling. Now, people always think I'm crazy when I say that you should condition your brows, but you condition all the other hair on your head, and brows speak louder than words, so get it in check. Now, my favorite way to use this is to take it, place it on your ring finger, and then gently work it into your brows. Now, we're gonna follow the exact same principle for doing our lips. So I'm going to place it right onto my ring finger, and then I'm going to take it and work it into my lips. You guys, this gives you such a lovely canvas for any lip color or even just lip balm. It just makes your hydration last. So the next items I'm gonna reach for in this process are my beauty blender and my rose hibiscus hydrating mist. You guys, these are the dream team. They are the dynamic duo because they work so well together. I'm going to take my mist and I'm actually going to use it to wet my beauty blender. Now what I've just accomplished is I've created the damp end, which I'm going to use for complexion, foundation, concealer, but I also have a dry tip that I'm now able to use for other powder products, which will come into play a little bit later. The next product I'm gonna reach for is my Well People Biotint. And if you guys haven't tried this, you have to. The pigment is unparalleled, the coverage is incredible, it has the most gorgeous satin finish, it has a physical SPF of 30, and it's just amazing. So now I'm gonna take 1 pump of my Biotint, a little bit goes a long way, I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna take 1 drop of the orchid oil and mix it directly in with it. And what that's going to do is it's gonna shear out the pigment and give me an extra natural, extra dewy finish. So now let's get this placed, and then I'm gonna go ahead and work it in with my dampened beauty blender. Pow, 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 get it where it needs to go. I don't know what that song was. Now you may notice I have some excess on my hand, which is phenom because I'm gonna use it for my under eyes. And fortunately, I've already gotten them prepped with all of the beautiful oils, so everything is just going to work in the most effortless and natural way. So I'm super pleased with how this looks. You can see I am obviously dewy AF, but now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my concealer and I'm going to try to spot treat anywhere that is just needing a little more coverage. So that'll be my under eyes and maybe some of my dark spots. The next product I'm gonna reach for is my Alima Pure Cream Concealer. You guys, this is another natural beauty brand that I adore, but to ensure that I get a concentrated dose of pigment that I can place exactly where I need it, I'm going to add 1 drop of the orchid oil directly onto the concealer. Now I'm going to use my beauty blender to pick up the oil and the concealer and place it exactly where I want it. Yes! Oh yeah, oh it's so good. So before I move on to powder products, I want to wrap up with anything that has a cream-like formula. So I will be reaching for my coconut oil lip tint in the shade Coral Rose from Herbivore. Now this is a super versatile product. You can use it obviously on your lips, but it also makes a fabulous blush. So you can already tell it's such a beautiful universal shade and it's flattering to everybody. But now what I'm gonna do is take the formula and I'm also going to take my Fenty Beauty blending brush and I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the product and gently start to press it into my cheeks. So when working with blush products, you want to ensure that you're placing it in the center of your cheekbone, not underneath because it's not a contour, and not on top because it's not a highlight. And you also never want to take it in closer than 2 fingers distances to your nose because it'll just look crazy. So let's work this in. So the effect is subtle, but it really does warm you up and it makes you look just like a little more cheerful and approachable, which some people could use some of that. So now that both sides are done, I'm gonna go ahead and powder and we can start moving on to my other products. Now to do that, I'm gonna be using the Unpowder from RMS Beauty. You guys, this just feels like heaven. It is just silica, not silicone, so it's the naturally occurring form and it's amazing. So this does come with a powder puff. I don't particularly care for powder puffs, so I'm gonna set that to the side. Instead, I will use my Charlotte Tilbury Powder and Sculpt brush. If I had to pick one brush for the rest of my life, it would be this one. I just use it for everything. So I'm gonna pick up the product, tap off the excess, and work it in. So a little life hack is you should only apply the powder where you need it. People aren't matte, we're not two-dimensional creatures, so it's okay to have a little bit of shine and glow. In fact, it's kind of appealing. So I like to just place it on my T-zone and right on the areas in my cheeks that need it. We made it all the way to brows. Let's do brows, guys. So I'm gonna be using Eco Brow in the shade Liz. You guys, this is another natural beauty brand that I live for. It is the most delectable formula and it glides on like butter. So the brush I'll use to apply it is my number 12 brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's just a spoolie and an angled brush. Eco Brow does make a brush that goes specifically with the product, but I already had this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start by combing my brows downward, all the way down. Now I need everyone to listen to me when I say this. Everybody, do not overdraw your brows. Don't you do it. You try to keep it in the designated range where your hair naturally grows or has grown in the past before you overplucked. So, within the natural boundaries that Mother Nature has established, I've picked up the product by gently placing it into the pot, and I'm going to start in a thicker line on the outer edge of my brow, and I'll work my way down. Now that you've locked down the end of your brow in a more opaque fashion, you can kind of feather out the pigment as you work inward. So we're gonna go lighter and lighter as we approach the center of our brow. So now that you have your basic outline, you can take a little more pigment and work in staccato strokes downward in the direction of your hair growth within the boundaries that you've established. And what this does is it creates the illusion of little baby hairs as opposed to one chunk of color. So now that I've got everything filled in, I'm going to take the spoolie end of my brush and I'm going to work the pigment into the brow and I'm going to work the hairs upward. And this is what makes everything look super, super natural. So I've just completed my brows, so now I'm going to move on to highlighting and contouring. And to do that, I'm going to be using my Lily Lolo Sculpt and Glow Contour Duo. Lily Lolo is such a fun thing to say, A, but B, they make the most amazing, wonderful natural beauty products. So I'm going to go in with my powder and sculpt brush. I told you I use this for everything, but I'm going to pick a pigment from my highlighter and then I'm going to tap off the excess. Now, the reason you start with your highlighter is because if you're using the same brush, you want to make sure that you're not muddling the colors as you move forward. Now to apply your highlighter, you want to place it on any of the areas you want to come forward. So I'm going to do it on my very large nose. I'm proud of it. Get over it. And then I'm going to place it underneath my brow, right above my brow, and right on top of my cheekbone. Ooh, do you see the way it's catching light? It's subtle, but it's impactful. It's so beautiful. Now, you may remember with my Beauty Blender, I only wet one end of it. Now I'm going to take the dry end, place it into the highlighter, and use it to access the tight areas I want to apply highlighter, like the corner of my eye. Do you see how that really wakes up the eyes? It just gives you a little bit more brightness. So now I'm gonna go back into my contour duo. I'm gonna use my same brush and I'm going to pick up my contour. Now you can use a bronzer for this, but you have to make sure it's not reflective because you're creating shadow. So once again, we're going to swirl and tap off the excess product, and then we're gonna place this anywhere we want to visually recede. So right underneath the cheekbone, and you can work in tiny little buffing circles to bring it up to meet the rest of the cheek. I'm also going to apply this on my forehead and around the edges of my nose, just to give my dimensions a little bit more pop, because God knows I don't make a spectacle of myself all the time. Now that that's done, I feel like a golden goddess. Ooh, so cute, so bronzy. But one of the risks inherent in using a lot of powder products is it can make you look dry, it can make you look a little ashy. So what we wanna do is we wanna put that glow back into the skin. So to do that, I'm gonna reach for my orchid oil once again, and I'm actually gonna place this, you guys are gonna think I'm so crazy, I'm gonna place it directly onto my Beauty Blender. I like to use 2 or 3 drops if it's really bad and I've gone a little too heavy with my powders. Let's go ahead and work it into your hand first. Now you can start working the oiled Beauty Blender across your skin, and it will immediately put hydration back into your skin. It'll immediately pick up the excess powder that doesn't need to be there, and it just makes everything go together so seamlessly. So as your last precautionary blending measure, you can go back in with your Rose Hibiscus Hydrating Mist and just use it as a finishing spray, not a setting spray. It's not gonna lock anything in, but it will make all of the pigment blend together beautifully. Angle it upwards and allow the mist to fall onto your skin. We're on to the final step, you guys. So you may have noticed that I am V into eyebrows, so I wanna make sure that mine stay in place all day. And in order to do that, I'm gonna be using the Pink Clay Soap Bar, but I'll also use my spoolie from Anastasia and my Rose Hibiscus Mist. So wet your spoolie well. So now you'll take your dampened spoolie and you'll drag it across the soap. And you'll start to notice that it's picking up enough of the product that it starts to look waxy. Then you take it and you work your brows upward exactly where you want them, and they will not move. And with that, we have concluded my natural beauty tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something new. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. And always remember that there is nothing more attractive than being kind to others. Mwah! Bye, guys.